All right, welcome back. We are here for our playthrough of Paranormal Incorporated with our original core investigators. Holy crap. Amazing. And we discovered in discussing stuff that I think we've been forgetting a move like we normally do. There's always something we're forgetting when we're doing this. We forgot about the ghostly encounters move, which basically says when you have an interaction with a ghost while investigating, you choose from a list below it. And if the interaction is related to your personal haunting, choose two. And I think we've been mostly forgetting that we have this. So, again, to review for us as well as for the recording, we have the discovery move, which acts as the investigation move, like gathering clues and such for coming up with the mystery. Theorize move, of course, is to like once we have all the clues necessary for the complexity and beyond possibly, then we can actually sit down at a character and then figure it out to roll to see if we're right. And then we have the risky move, which if we do something risky or face something we fear, that's when we roll on that. And then, of course, ghostly encounters move, which we keep forgetting. And then, of course, the handbook of the recently deceased move. Once per mystery, when any investigator says, I read about this in the handbook of the recently deceased, and so on and so forth. So hopefully we remember that these moves exist, and two, that we appropriately, you know, um, activate them. um, and so we're welcoming back Annabelle and Waylend. And then we are also going over some cute things that, um, because of the episodic nature of this game, we are saying that if we incurred any conditions from the last time we played, whenever that was, yeah, so much time has passed. It's like we're not worried about that anymore. And then um, Waylend, because of his moves, has some interesting little bits that are very particular to him pertaining to his moves. So I'd like Brent to let us know what those are, like, on recording.
Sure. So one of the moves that Wayland has, because he is a bookworm, is called I Know Just the Person. And normally that move is I know somebody who is going to have the information we need. So I can do that move. I can call them for help and they will help me, but it creates a complication. And I throw to another player to describe what that complication is going to be. But in Wayland's very first adventure, very first mystery, I acquired Marvin, who is the friend in my head. Marvin is the spirit that inhabits um, Wayland's mind. And so we're making a small change to I Know Just the Person to friend in my head, essentially, I think is what we'll call it. Where if I don't know the answer, Marvin does. And as Mad suggested, Marvin has been spending the time. So they talk about how, right, popularized by Sherlock Holmes. They talk about how people create mind palaces, and they can go into their mind palace and like find bits of information and stuff like that. Um, Wayland has like more of just a mind garage slash depository for all of the information that he's acquired, and it's all there somewhere. Waylend is just really bad at getting at it sometime. So one morning, Waylend woke up to find that Marvin had spent a great deal of time basically unpacking boxes and putting things on shelves in his mind palace, and now finds it much easier to find information, or at least it's much easier for Marvin to find information for Waylend. Waylend does still have to ask, and Marvin takes it as a personal affront when Waylend has to like Google anything. Um, so there's often like competition between Marvin and Waylend as to who can get the information the quickest. But yeah, that's a little change we've made for Waylend.
He's like the little Alexa in your head. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. Okay, so with that, we are going to do Moon's Haunted by Amanda Mullins, our very own Dr. Fern. Dr. Fern.
Yay.
All right. So Amanda, you want to tell us a little bit about this, or you want the surprise to happen as we play?
Um, I think the surprise as we play, this is a mystery that I wrote for the Paranormal Inc. jam that Alicia set up in order to help promote the funding that she's doing for Bus More Ghosts. Is that what it's called?
I think so. Bust
Yeah.
More Ghosts.
Yeah.
Which is the collection of new mysteries for Paranormal Incorporated. So we're all very excited about this. More content, more
Extremely
mysteries.
excited. Lots of really great writers
Mhm.
that are participating in that. Lots of really awesome mysteries I'm really excited for. Great editing team. What's up, Brent? It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm loving everything I've read so far.
Oh, wonderful.
Yay.
So
Yeah, I wrote
excited.
this for the jam for that, and it's my very first Paranormal Inc. mystery. I think we're the first people that are going to play it, so this is definitely a play test, and I'm excited.
And I'm rubbing my hands excitedly. Okay, so
Yeah.
Moon's Haunted. And we've got everything up. So we've got our character keeper, we've got our dice, we've got our game copy, and anything else that we may need for trying to remember who the hell we are. So we're just going to let me see.
One quick question that somebody might remember from previous games.
Yeah.
What is the ghost moor that Dr. Fern has? It's one of her. It had something to do with cows. I just can't remember what it was.
The ghost moor. Oh my god. Was it a machine that you created that broke?
Probably.
I think I feel like it was something having to do with the radio station, like maybe like, it was something that could communicate with the ghosts, but then it only came out with I remember now. Oh shit. Okay.
Yep,
This
that is
was
the reaction you want.
Yeah, this is the contraption that looked like the Tinker Toys that you created as a globe to fit around the head that would be able to find and speak to ghost cows.
Oh,
Know that they were in the
yeah.
field, but you didn't speak cow, so you wouldn't understand what the hell they were talking about. And so how the hell would you know that it was a ghost cow?
All right, thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Ghost moor.
Yes.
Yeah, because I
Yes,
have the
ma'am.
gooizer,
It broke.
which is broken.
Yes.
I have the specter sucking selfie stick, which is broken.
Yes.
And I have the ghost moor, which is broken.
I know
So I
definitely
get to
had that
have
you
a
broke that
new,
one.
yeah,
Yes. You get to
I
have
get
a
to
new
have
one.
a new thing, which I will figure out as we play.
And you'll probably break too, but that's the way it goes
Most
in this
likely.
game. Yes, exactly. So just a little bit before we get into the mystery itself, because it's like I just want to do a quick address of the last time we truly played was with our guest investigator Astra Astrid, and so therefore we were at a petting zoo without Annabelle and Waylend. So I don't know if they want to just kind of give a small description about where they were. Since the last time we saw Annabelle, she was going over fashions for her TikTok videos, which were more than a few hours long. And then Waylend had finished helping us with the radio station mystery, and don't know where he wandered off after that. So I mean, again, if you two want to like kind of go over where you might have been since the last time we played all together, that would be great. If not, we can go ahead and just get started. That's up to you.
I mean, sure, I can talk a little bit about. I think Waylend has been part and parcel with Marvin sort of organizing things a little better inside of Waylend's mind. I think Waylend has been a lot more relaxed than he has been previously. I think a lot of his anxiety was around yes, I have all this information, but what can I do anything with it? Am I going to remember the right thing at the right time? Am I going to be helpful to the group? Am I going to be, it's that sort of thing. It's not enough to know it. If I can't produce it, if I can't show people that I know it, then what's the point? So, and that's been a lot of Waylend's anxiety around things. And so Waylend is just a lot more relaxed now. Marvin has helped him sort of settle down. And, before Waylend was always like a little scruffy and maybe sometimes dirty, maybe missed a shower in the morning, stuff like that. And his room was a mess. But now, yeah, he's just like calm, collected. Um, seems to be like a lot more laid back about things. Um, hasn't actually been doing like much except cleaning up his room and hanging out and reading books. He's actually reading a lot more now that he's confident that he's going to be able to get that information back. So yeah.
Cool. So I picture at some point all of you have gotten an email with a link from Annabelle, and she recorded her trip to Paris Fashion Month, because in the end she went to Paris, Texas, which turns out to be like a really, really small town. And obviously she got things confused, and there's like an alternative event going on there with much more rural and country-based fashion. So she stays there for the whole month, and afterwards she comes back, is quite relaxed and happy to go along with the investigations.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So I think we all find ourselves at the Paranormal Incorporated offices doing our thing. Ronnie out in the foyer listening to the explosions coming out of Dr. Fern's room. And then I don't think Annabelle is making much noise except for, talking to her videos, her camera for the videos. And then Waylend is being the wonderful quiet one, but God knows what he's up to with talking with Marvin. And really Ronnie can't say anything because like Mike is always there, like kind of looking over, like being the um uh the anthropomorphic microphone that we gathered from the radio station mystery. So he's our mascot now, and so therefore, hey, what the hell? Okay. So I think in this case, Moon's Haunted, tone X-Files level spooky, complexity 7. Logan Lumen, billionaire and founder CEO of SpaceAI, a multinational satellite communications company, has reached out to Paranormal Incorporated regarding strange events at Somerville Observatory. SpaceAI recently purchased the observatory from an astrophysics nonprofit that is no longer able to fund its research due to a certain multinational satellite communications company starving them out of grants and monopolizing tech. Publicly, SpaceAI blames local guerrilla astro activists, accusing them of sabotaging the company's efforts to track their satellites. Privately, however, some of the new staff report having been terrorized by, well, to put it bluntly, by space ghosts. So, establishing question. One of you had a supernatural experience that may have been out of this world when you were young. What happened? What detail about the haunting at the Somerville Observatory makes you believe it might be extraterrestrial?
I mean, Waylend seems like the type to have had a close encounter as a kid. it does sort of feel like it's in Wayland's wheelhouse. So I think yeah, I think later on it got I don't know, downplayed to like swamp gas or like something else like that. But when Waylend was a kid and was a Boy Scout, um, on a camping trip, Waylend sort of wandered off into the woods at night to read, because like all day long he was forced to do Boy Scout stuff, and at nighttime was the only time he could get like some quiet. So he wandered off into the woods by himself, and there was some bright lights and some lost time. And yeah, Waylend sort of woke up and he wasn't sure. This was before Waylend had sort of like really gotten into the supernatural. So like for the longest time, Waylend just believed that that he had been like abducted, and he'd encountered aliens, and no one, of course, no one would believe him. They just figured it was another story that Waylend told them. But now that he knows the supernatural is out there, like maybe it was aliens, maybe it was ghosts, maybe it was alien ghosts. Who knows?
What detail about this particular haunting at Somerville makes you believe it's extraterrestrial?
I think it's the bright lights. I think that it's the light array. Um, it that's what sort of sparks the memory for Waylend. With the help of Marvin. Marvin is very helpful with, oh yes, I've got that on a shelf over here. Here's the here's all the gory details. Not that there was any gore, but like, you know, Waylend is able to relive that moment very vividly thanks to Marvin. And yeah, I think the bright lights are the key.
Out of curiosity, does Marvin have it as a microfiche, or is it like an actual like old reel to reel video in your head?
Oh, that's good. I think I think depending on how old the memory is. So if it's something that Waylend has consumed recently, then it sort of like pops up as a um Marvin shows it to him on like a laptop or something like that as a PDF. As the memories go further and further back, they're on like more and more dated technology. So yes, I think it's young enough that like when Marvin shows it to him, he like in his mind, they sort of go over to the microfiche machine, and Marvin like quickly shows this up, and it's sort of like a combination of like reading it off a microfiche and like 8mm home movie style, um, complete with like all the picture scratches and stuff like that. So
Understood. Another establishing question. One of you visited the Somerville Observatory in the past, before SpaceAI arrived on the scene. What moment of paranormal activity did you experience while there? What makes you think this current haunting is earthly?
I feel like Dr. Fern probably would have gone to an observatory at some point. I think the last time she was at the Somerville Observatory is probably early in her studies. And the thing that she experienced was when she was looking through one of the telescopes. It was a sun telescope where you can look at the sunspots. There are telescopes like that. They're really cool. And the sunspots started to move around, forming different shapes, and they were all like numbers, mathematical and Greek letters and things like that, which was very exciting. She never figured out what it meant, but it was just one of those exciting moments. She doesn't think that this is a extraterrestrial problem, this ghost, because logically, if a space ghost were to visit Earth, it would have to get through the atmosphere and it would just burn up, unless, of course, it had a space ghost spaceship. And the spaceship would probably be too flimsy to also get through the atmosphere. It would just shatter into a bunch of pieces, and then we would have space ghost spaceships coast to coast.
Okay. So the goal is to find out why the observatory is experiencing this haunting and whether the ghosts are of this planet. If otherworldly, though, SpaceAI would like the entities trapped for study. Otherwise, they need you to convince the ghosts to move on. And that is our mystery. Again, complexity 7. We're aiming for X-Files level spooky, but knowing this Scooby-Doo gang, who knows? So we have, we can say that we are at the observatory itself, and there are so many places that we could possibly go. But given this game, we are going to follow the prompts determined by the randomizing mechanic, which is the cards. So again, hearts are the location, spades are the NPCs possible in the location, diamonds are the paranormal events, and clubs are the clues. So I'm going to go just randomly assign like who gets what for this particular scene before we pick the first location prompt. And so it's going to be Dr. Fern for location, Waylend for paranormal event, me for clues, and Annabelle for the NPCs. Okay.
And just to establish for Waylend, because before we got this assignment, Waylend was just wandering around the office wearing one of his many book related t-shirts. This one in particular said book lovers do it with binding. As soon as he heard that we were going to SpaceAI, got super excited, ran to his room, changed in. He's wearing a SpaceAI ball cap and a SpaceAI branded t-shirt that reads, "The only thing micro about us is our gravity," and is very super excited to like visit SpaceAI and the observatory.
Fabulous. Oh my gosh.
He's fanboying.
Fanboying indeed. Damn. Okay. So yes, Amanda, as the card keeper, can you draw one heart, one diamond, one club, and one spade, please?
Oh, hold on, my glasses case is in the way. I'm trying to pull cards. Get out of the way. Okay. We have the 6 of hearts, the 3 of diamonds, the ace of spades,
okay,
and the 6 of clubs.
All righty. Okay. So our first location is the computer lab. All right. So Amanda, go ahead and take it away for the computer lab.
This room is cold, buzzing with fans for and inside the electronics. A half dozen drab fabric cubicles take up the bulk of the room. All have brand new monitors and towers, Cortex brand, which has an infamous contract with SpaceAI. A pile of older towers and CRT monitors are in a pile in the corner. Paint the scene, and this is, of course, for everyone. There are a variety of motivational posters on the walls. Describe one. Is it genuinely motivational, or is there something ominous about it? I think there is, this is going to be a little bit dark. I think there is, you know, those cat posters where the cat's like hanging from the branch and it says, "Hang in there." In this case, the cat is like hanging from just like its claws, and there's lava underneath. And there's like a evil looking owl flying down to peck at the cat. It's ominous.
I think we see another poster maybe on an opposite wall that says "Space and Beyond" in the like kind of cyberpunk type of font. And space is large, is of course is tiny, and then beyond looks like it's kind of disappearing into like a fade out. But the background for this is a beautiful sky with the cosmos and like nebula of stars behind. But then this nebula culminates like above space in the corner of this poster into what looks like a completely black void.
I think there is one poster that is ominous only in context. It is otherwise just like a beautiful picture of like a nebula, maybe like one of the classic images of like the Horsehead Nebula or something like that. But it's, you know, it has the motto at the bottom is, you know, SpaceAI, you get the space you deserve. Um, yeah.
So I pictured as one poster that is rather pretty new, because since the new owner, the billionaire, bought the place, he made some changes, and I'm happy he's going to show up shortly. And there's that one poster that says something like we're glad for having you, and basically it conveys something like to work here means everything, and only if you're hardcore you should stay. And basically you see many empty spots in that computer lab, because you can tell, okay, people have left recently.
And then Ronnie is just like looking around, seeing these posters, and then, well, I guess we need to get the equipment out and then just start doing the investigating.
Sure, I'll help Mike unload the car.
Okay. Yeah.
Dr. Fern's already at one of the computers. She has managed to get in and is playing Pong on it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Galaga. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and have like Ronnie and Waylend bring in like, more of the equipment, maybe like some of the monitoring tools that aren't necessarily portable as we walk around. But then Annabelle, what are you doing?
Basically, I'm standing in front of a vending machine, and I'm really fascinated because those snacks, you don't get them anywhere. Those like special snacks, like astronaut food.
Okay. All
Oh,
right. So
it's the only Tang vending machine in operation anywhere.
I would love a Tang vending machine. You have no idea. I love Tang.
God, I haven't had Tang in years. Dang. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So let's figure out where everybody is. Yeah, I mean, like, so Ronnie and Waylon are unpacking some of the equipment, and then Annabelle's looking at the vending machine, and Dr. Fern is playing Pong. Okay, great. So anybody want to do any discovery moves, and then we'll see about introducing all the other stuff that's going on.
Well, since I'm on one of the computers, I suppose I could take a look and poke around in the computer to see what this particular computer can access.
Okay.
I don't remember how to do any of this. Let me
Discovery
just
move.
load up.
Yeah, when you
Discovery.
search for a clue, conduct research, or otherwise gather information, describe how you're doing so, and roll with the appropriate ability modifier. So, in your case,
This is going to be science.
I can't imagine
think.
anything but science at this point. Yeah.
So I think, I'm just kind of, I've split the screen. So on one side of the screen, it's Pong. And I'm still like doing that. On the other side of the screen, between Pong hits, I am just going through like the different files set up, playing around with the command line, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right.
I'm not doing a very good job because I'm really distracted by Pong. It's starting to get really fast because I rolled a 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
those Pong hits can really mess you up.
Okay.
Also, it's really hard to flip between a game and doing stuff like back and forth really quick. It's just,
Okay. So, we're going to call that the introduction of a paranormal event. So, Waylend, can you take it away, please? Hey, we had a roll, we had a draw of a 3 of diamonds. So yeah,
3 of diamonds. All right.
and I think you can pick from one of those things in the list. So
yeah,
say what would be appropriate.
go. Okay, I think this is I think this happens when as Waylend is helping move stuff in and out, it's a point where Waylend is out by the vehicle by himself, and there is suddenly this bright yellow beam of light that lifts Waylend up and holds him in the sky. And oddly enough, there is a cow also in mid beam that is being lifted up. Waylend's not sure where the cow came from, but obviously this brings back whole memories. And then Waylend is lowered back down.
Did the cow get lowered back down too?
No, not as far. Yeah.
Oh
the
no,
cow just
poor cow.
cow just continues going up in this yellow beam, and then the yellow beam disappears,
And so does the cow.
Yeah. And like, not gonna lie, Waylend has a moment of like, but why the cow and not me? But
is that what you're thinking right now?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a condition.
It is a
I feel
condition.
like jealous of cow is a condition.
Yeah.
Or like, something simple like, why cow, not me? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, put that down as your condition. Why cow, not me? Damn.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
You're all getting a real weird peek into my brain.
It's fine. It's fine. This is why we're playtesting. This is why we're doing it. It's great. Okay. Annabelle, you're looking at snacks and stuff. I don't know if you want to look around, try something.
Yeah, after having gotten some really bland snacks out of that vending machine, she looks around and tries to get a feeling for the place, and maybe I expect Dr. Fern having mentioned those no, wait, we're in the computer lab, or are we allowed to go to other places as well?
I'm gonna say that if we're gonna go into another place, it's like, we probably should pull another location card.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay, so maybe I should do some research in the computer lab first.
Yeah, I mean, like you can see like Dr. Fern's still playing on the computer, like Waylend is outside, and Ronnie's like, again, unpacking the equipment.
So basically she looks over your shoulder and asks, did you find anything interesting, Dr. Fern?
I think maybe it's that these computers are just too new. They look like they've been replaced. And one sec. Oh, I thought I was going to miss that one. Whew. Okay. Yeah, these computers are really new. I don't think they've got anything really interesting on them. And of course, I mean, it's just because she couldn't find anything. There's probably something interesting on them. But she sort of like waves her hand. Maybe those other computers back there. You see all those like old ones? Do you know how to use a computer, Annabelle? Oh, hold on. Okay, I got it. Pong is hard, guys.
I will say out of character, it's like there is a pile of the older towers and CRT monitors in the corner. So you might be able to get some impressions from those if you want.
Yes,
or you
basically.
could try using one of the new computers and show Dr. Fern up.
Yeah, I think I'll go for that one.
Oh dear. This is this is unconscious revenge. Somebody's been like, tinkering around in Annabelle's head.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so
discovery with
probably a skill I'm not very
well, I mean, it depends. Are you gonna try and actually do it like with science, like actually do it the way normal folk would do like computers, or are you going to try to get impressions from them, like using one of your abilities or something? Because remember, we all have backpacks, which we haven't necessarily said I have this, blah blah blah, but you seem to have a move that you can pull out something different as a different way of looking at things.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to turn one of the newer models on, and I don't really care what's on the monitor currently, but I put on my very fashionable glasses, and those help me to see beyond the model realm, maybe there's some I squint and move closer, try to decipher what might be written there.
That kind of feels like an intuition move.
Yeah. Well, intuition, but also too, I mean, like, tools of the trade would be good to use advantage. And you, of course, never have to mark off your glasses. So yeah, definitely roll with advantage with intuition.
So advantage means I'll
3d6.
Roll 3 die?
Yeah, 3d6. Okay. Take the 2 highest, please. Plus your intuition stat.
Okay, let's see.
Oh God, what?
So I've got my highest two are 2 3s, so 6.
Plus intuition. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's 8.
Don't do that to me.
It's an 8. Sorry.
Oh my God. All right. Okay, clues. Let me see. So that's a 6. All right. Oh shit. Okay. There's 2 of them I want to use. Like, I don't know which one to use. Okay. I think your clue is that, as you're looking through your glasses and squinting and not squinting at this, I think you see the monitor fade into like blurry symbols and such and so forth, and then you start to see them turn into lights. Maybe this array that we know that we've seen through Wayland's memory, and it's like this bright array of lights that blink in and out, and they start to look like they're blinking in and out in a specific kind of code. So that is the clue. Lights blink out in code. And that's what you see on the monitor through your glasses. And it's not something, technically blurry or anything like that. I mean, this is a sign. This is a clue. Okay.
So is this something I'd write down and share with the others, or?
Yeah. I mean, like we have the clues list in the clues tab for this mystery. So like we will start to build up the clue list here. Okay. And this is one of the first clues, capital C. Okay.
Cool.
All right. And just for funsies, I'm going to go ahead and like, as I'm putting the equipment out and discovering things, yeah, like I'm just checking all the readouts for the equipment. I'm going to go ahead and roll. Let me see, what do I got? Because it's been a while since I've played my character. Yay. Okay, +1, skilled, quick thinking, quick moving. No, I mean, that's fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and roll discovery with, I guess, science, because it's like all I'm doing is looking at the monitors, at the equipment, and then checking the readouts. All right, so I'm going to go roll with science. Just zip. Oh, even better, guys. 4. Doing great. Okay, so yeah.
Let's paranormal event this. Let me grab a new card. Which ones are the paranormal events? The diamonds?
Diamonds.
The 7 of diamonds.
Okay. So, Waylend, what's my paranormal event?
Let me just unmute myself. There we go. 7 of diamonds. Ooh, let's see. Actually, I'm just going to read off all 3, and someone shout out if there's something you particularly like. So the 3 that we have to choose from for the 7 of diamonds is: the gravity in the room suddenly presses you down as if your limbs are 3 times heavier than normal. A small tentacled, many-toothed creature bursts painfully from inside your stomach, skittering into a vent, leaving no trace of a wound. Or all the electronics in the room start to blink and beep an SOS.
I mean, I want this to go full on alien, but that's just me.
I mean,
I'm
that's
okay
sort of
with
how I'm leaning.
I'm okay with it if you need to.
Okay. Yep. So I think, well, it's for you to describe what happens to you, Ronnie.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to go with the alien.
Okay. So I think as Ronnie's like kind of, because it's a big unit, right? I mean, it's got like a bunch of readouts on it, like, for the pixelated whatevers, and then it's like it's got some handheld things that are attached to it, and then as Ronnie's like kind of like bringing them out and just kind of like putting them in different directions, like one of them starts to beep uncontrollably, and then Ronnie's like, what? This hasn't done that before. What the hell? And then it's as they bring the readout, the unit closer to them, to their stomach, that it goes hog wild crazy, and like you see the lights flashing on Ronnie's face as this is getting going nuts, and then it's like Ronnie starts feeling pain in their stomach, and they drop back, dropping like the equipment, and they're like, oh my god, what the and then as they're coughing, instead of coming out of their mouth, it just something poops out of their stomach, and it is a tiny creature about the size of 2 palms, and it is tentacled, it is bulbicide, and that's all Ronnie sees, besides like the many teeth fangs that are coming out of it as it jumps up, out, and then skitters onto a vent. And Ronnie gets back and goes, what the bleep, 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 bleep. And then yeah, I don't know if anybody notices, probably not, because this is the intern. um
Ronnie, why are you yelling in the corner? You're interrupting my research. Did you break the machine?
No, did not break the machine. It crawls over and checks the machine. The machine is fine. And then just checks their stomach, checks their t-shirt. No wound, no tear in the t-shirt, no nothing. Just saw something a little disturbing, and we'll move on from there. And just like, out of character, it's like, this is the t-shirt that Ronnie is wearing where it says Six Sad Fiction. Okay, so yeah, all right. So even more like appropriate. And
I think that would actually be maybe related to your condition that you get for the failed roll.
Yeah, so
sad fiction.
perfect.
Because a sick sad fictional thing just happened to you.
Yes. Whoops. Capitalize. That would be great. Oh my god. Okay, great. Son of a poop.
And now that we have the ghostly encounters thing, I want to lean heavier into the conditions because I think that's fun. And that's how we get rid of them.
Yep. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, okay, so when did interaction? Okay, well, this is no ghost that can, like, I was even able to talk to. So it's like, well, fringe. Yeah. And behind their back, like, as they catch their breath, Ronnie will reach behind their back and, like, suck up like one of their favorite drinks. Caramel macchiato with about 3 shots worth of chocolate. And then sips while everybody else is doing whatever they're doing. Okay, cool.
I think this would be a really fun moment for the NPC to walk into the room.
Perfect.
With Ronnie just being a complete mess, because usually they're not.
Right, exactly. So,
NPC. And then we can have Waylend come in after because Wayland's a fanboy.
Oh, God.
Oh,
of
nice,
course.
nice.
Sure, do that. Okay, great. Go ahead.
So,
and it's perfect that Michael's doing this. Okay, go ahead.
Just a question. Should I read out the quote as well?
Well, I mean, like, you would read the flavor text for said NPC, and then yes, you can include the quote however you'd like to. You can split it up, break it up, however you want.
Yeah, you get to play this guy.
Yeah, you get to play this
perfect.
guy. That's
perfect.
Previous performances have pretty much shown it's like, we love your NPCs so as much as we love to hate them. So
yeah.
hearts, black hearts.
Okay. So I think I'll bring up the quote or parts of it later, and I've got something else for the entering in mind. But basically, Logan Lumen, the tech billionaire, enters the room. He's red-faced. He's frequently squinting. He's got overly whitened teeth. And despite being born wealthy, Logan has somehow developed a reputation as a self-made man and is heralded as a genius by tech bros for no discernible reason. And basically, I picture him on the phone entering. Well, Stacy, I don't really care. I just want to buy Mastodon. Okay. No. Well, just make it work, okay? I'll buy all the servers if I have to. Yeah. Wait, what? No, we're going to centralize it and we're going to make it more efficient, and then there will be free speech for everyone. Okay, I gotta speak to those guys now. So, who do we have here?
And I think Ronnie's kind of still on the floor, like, alternately blowing on and then sipping their coffee with both hands and just be like, oh, yes. And then we'll hurriedly, chug it and then, put it aside and then stand up and, like, not bring out their hand to shake Logan Lumen's, but just to kind of like do a little smart bow and go, yes, Mr. Lumen, hi, I'm Ronnie Revis. I am excuse me, yes, I'm the intern of the office, but I manage the affairs and scheduling of Paranormal Incorporated, and as you can see, our investigators are busy working on the case, as whatever you guys are doing being goof-offs is happening in the background.
Yeah, Dr. Fern has not noticed that anybody has walked into the room. because they're at a really high level of Pong and getting more and more like frenetic about it. You know, like mouse moves, hands moving. Like I don't know why that there's needs to be that much movement in Pong, but it's happening.
And I think also Annabelle is like after while squinting at the lights moving in code on the screen, I think you're reaching absently like for the astronaut snacks and then just kind of like, alternately eating. And then Waylend, I mean, like I think you came in from your experience, and I might have, before I got scared, I think I gave you your favorite like beverage, and then like you're off working on either another computer or like trying to put together like the monitoring system elsewhere in the
Yeah.
lab.
Yeah, I think Wayland is sipping his coffee, his venti peppermint mocha, and which I don't think Wayland realizes that peppermint is a seasonal flavor. So he doesn't. It's not here in Canada, as an aside, out of character. We can get peppermint whenever we want.
Wow.
Sorry, USians.
Wait, it's seasonal outside of Canada?
Yeah.
Wow.
I went to a con in Washington, Spokane, Washington, and went to a Starbucks and ordered like, I'll just have like a venti peppermint mocha, please. And they're like, you can't have peppermint right now. It's a Christmas flavor. And I'm like, what?
Yes, we do have it bad over
is...
here. I'm sorry. I mean, like, come on now.
How dare you? No, anyway.
Exactly. But I mean, this is what like Mr. Lumen sees like as like Ronnie's getting up from the floor.
So, and I think Waylend does notice Mr. Lumen enter the room, and contrary to how excited Waylend was to like come and visit SpaceAI, you see Waylend just go like cold and like angry looking, because Waylend is very specifically a SpaceAI fanboy, and Mr. Lumen bought this company from the founders and has been systematically ruining it. So like Waylend is a fanboy of the two, astronomers slash computer people, like actual doctors who founded this company and the company itself. Mr. Lumen is the disease that is slowly destroying the thing he loves. So like he's not going to raise a fuss, but like no move to shake Mr. Lumen's hand. Like sees him come into the room and is just staring daggers at him the entire time he's here. Yeah. Yes.
So he does notice your attire, since you got all the cap, the t-shirt, and whatever, and says, "Oh, a fan. Feel free to schedule a selfie date with me later. You can ask my assistant Stacy; she's around somewhere. I'm happy to have you all here, and I hope you can help us."
And then Ronnie will just kind of give him the eye, like over the coffee rim, because they're holding on to that as like kind of like their little lifeline for, I'm keeping it together. And it's like, I'm not gonna let you be a jackass to any of us while I'm here, and so with a pasted smile on their face, Ronnie's going to say to Mr. Lumen, it's like, Yeah, I mean, I think we can really, pick up the energy and feel this company out, and then just check out this observatory and investigate to, really push that envelope that, that you seem to require. We have a handle on control and being able to break standards and be able to just really get to the pinnacle of the point.
Fabulous. I expect an update every 15 minutes. So here's Stacy's number, and he hands you a card. And I really like the way you think. If you ever want to have an internship with my company, just let me know. It's obviously not paid, but we pay in experience,
Oh, that sounds wonderful. With that gritted teeth look that people get when they just can't stand who they're talking to. Thank you so much. I mean, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity. And they nod. Too much.
Cool.
Yep.
I feel like it's that moment where Dr. Fern cries out in absolute dismay. She's lost her Pong game.
Oh no. And I'm hoping that Lumen has turned around and just dismissed us from his mind, because at this point, like, Ronnie's gonna go over and say, "Oh, disappointment, Dr. Fern."
I was at the second last level.
Reaches behind their back, pulls out your favorite drink.
Like, not even looking at Ronnie,
Right.
Dr. Fern takes it and starts to sip.
Yeah.
Looking sadly, very sad at the computer monitor. So,
extra comfort pumps of whatever favorite flavor you have.
Just coffee. Just I like the idea that it's extra pumps of coffee flavored syrup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think she's just kind of sadly staring at the thing. So, I haven't been paying attention. Have we found a ghost in here yet?
And Ronnie rolls their eyes and yeah, you kind of missed it. And it's around in the vent somewhere. Yay. So
Ooh, that could be fun. Let's go see where the vents lead.
And then this would be when we switch to a new scene of like, okay, so let's establish we can split up. Actually, we can pair off or whatever, and then we can pull a couple of location cards and then like new cards for the different things. All right, so let's do location. Waylend. We're gonna do spades, which is NPCs for Fern. And then we'll do diamonds for Ronnie. And then we will do clues with Annabelle. So I got
And
this.
I've got cards here if I need to, so I will pull hearts.
Okay. What'd you get?
Let me just quickly pull them out of the deck first. I am prepared. I'm not ultra prepared.
If we're gonna pull two decks, we have to keep track of which cards we've already pulled.
Oh no, I'm keeping track of the numbers and
Perfect.
stuff.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay. And then for everything else, clubs, spades, and diamonds, if you could pull those.
Yeah, I have pulled the 8 of clubs, the 6 of spades, and the 5 of diamonds. If we need hearts, I've also pulled a 5 of hearts, but we could wait for a different heart if we wish.
Right.
What'd you get?
Actually, this would be sort of fun after. So I pulled the 7 of hearts. Logan Lumen's office.
Ooh.
I mean, we know he's not going to be there.
Yeah, we know he's not going to be there for sure. I think that's where Ronnie's going to go with whomever wants to go with them. And then yeah. What's the 5 of hearts, Waylend? And then that'll be where the other two could possibly go.
Five of Hearts is the machine shop.
It sounds like fun for Dr. Fern, if you don't mind my saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dr. Fern's going to the machine shop.
Okay, so Dr. Fern's machine shop, and then Ronnie is going to Lumen's office.
And I think I will go with Ronnie.
Okay.
And
then
because
Annabelle, do
you want to go to Logan Lumen's office, or do you want to go to the machine shop?
I'll join you for the machine shop.
There's gonna be so much shit to get impressions from at the machine shop. I can only imagine. So yeah, let's go ahead and oh sorry. Yeah, since we're approaching the hour mark for playing, let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break, and then we can piece it together from there for splitting off and pairing off for the new locations. All right. So
awesome.
see you at the 40 mark. All right.
Love it. See you in a bit.
All right, so we're going to start with Waylend and Ronnie in Lumen's office. So let's see. Waylend, tell us about the location.
All right. So, Logan Lumen's office. While Logan doesn't often visit the observatory himself, he is far too busy and important. He did demand a private office. An imposing room with an antique mahogany desk, a state-of-the-art personal telescope next to the window, and a large bookshelf filled with various titles such as Work Until You Drop, Unions and How to Bust Them, and Astronomy for Dummies who are actually geniuses that are being sabotaged by woke unions and class action lawyers. The paint the scene question. This all sounds very familiar. I feel like we're talking about somebody else, but I can't quite put my finger on it. The paint the scene. Logan Lumen has a reputation amongst business gurus and tech bros as a prodigy of world class, by Earth standards, brilliance. What about his office belies this reputation? I mean, besides everything I just said, I don't. Anyway,
I know. I mean, how are we supposed to paint the scene after that? You just painted it for us. Okay. I do actually have one. I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think. I think he's got one of those. No, it's not even special. I think it's a Rubik's Cube with different colors. Of course, it has to have different colors, but it's not solved. It's still in its hot mess state of different colors, not matched on every side. Not even one wall, one side matched.
I love it.
He actually also has a second Rubik's Cube on his desk, but this one is done, except it's very clearly had the stickers peeled off and then reattached.
Yeah. Down to you can still see the half empty bottle of rubbing alcohol and the cotton swabs next to the Rubik's Cube, where he's denatured the glue and then put it back on.
There's actually a note on the desk that says, "Stacy, fix this Rubik's Cube for me."
Yeah.
I so want to meet Stacy now. I so want to meet Stacy.
I think mine is going to be just a little bit more subtle in that because this is an office he doesn't use. At first glance, it looks like the office of a genius, right? The high-end telescope and all the books on the shelf and all the rest of it. But it's quite obvious, no one has used that telescope. It's got a thin layer of dust. Everything gets dusted weekly. But I think the only things in here that don't acquire a layer of dust on them are the things that he uses when he comes into the office. And so that would be the chair, the desk space immediately in front of the chair, and the aforementioned books, which seem to be the only ones that he pulls down off the shelf. Every other book on the shelf has acquired, because the person who's doing the dusting, I think, is doing a good job of dusting the shelves. But as so often happens, they forget to dust like the tops of the books on the shelves. And so it's quite obvious if you go over and look. No other book on this shelf. And this is all like the high-end, like technical manuals and high-end science books that you would expect a genius to have read has been touched. There is just like an ever-thickening layer of dust on all of those books, except for the ones mentioned in the description that have been pulled off the shelf and actually have like tabs in them. Someone is color tabbed. Again, there's a little note in there that says, like, you know, thanks, Stacy.
So I also pictured there being a vision board, and it says, become the funniest person on the internet. And there's a small post-it saying, remember, funny haha, not funny weird.
There's a
I'm
little
dying.
note that says, make people pay $8 for jokes, question mark.
Damn. Okay. Okay. So
Step 1, become funniest person on the internet. Step 2, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step 3, money, question mark.
oh my god.
Yeah.
This is horrific. Horrific. Okay. So Waylend, what are you doing? And I think yeah, Ronnie's going to go ahead and go over to the telescope and take a peek at this thing that's not used, because he's a shit. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. I think given the detail that I added to the room, I think Waylend has definitely gone over the bookshelf. I think anytime we go into a space and there is a bookshelf, Waylend has gone to the bookshelf.
Perfect.
And Waylend is like gets over there excited because these are like all you know, Waylend doesn't have some of these books. And is excited to like look at them, and is like horrified that they've been left to, like, you know, gather dust on these shelves. To the point that I think, yeah, Waylend reaches into Waylend reaches into like his investigator's haversack or utility belt or whatever, and pulls out one of those compressed air cans, and just like blows the dust off of these books, and is just like, no, I can't. And so let's see what comes out of. I'm going to roll investigation at this point and see if a clue makes itself known at this point.
Okay.
I think this is going to be back to the character keeper. I think just intuition, since at this point he's not really looking for anything. He's just sort of relying on the fact that he is the book guy. So
Sure.
and that is going to be a 5. So
We are rolling like shit today. God dang.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's just be reminded of one thing, which we keep forgetting about as well. We have personal hauntings, which I think changes the role, so we can up the tier. You can choose to do a personal haunting or just take it and suck it up and then get a paranormal event or a complication of some sort. What would you like?
Yeah. I am going to take what have we got?
We only got one clue so far.
Yeah. I am going to take I think I'm going to check off opposing theories and bump myself up to the next. So I think this is the point where Um, this is the point I think where like Marvin and I sort of like just internally start arguing back and forth about because I'm, you know, obviously I am an anti-lumen an anti-luminary. Anyway, um, and Marvin is like, oh, but I've read all this stuff on the internet about Lumen. He seems like a really good guy, and it's like, well, this is no time to be like a Lumen stan, Marvin. Like, come on. And so just having this internal battle back and forth, which I think is what caused me to like sort of like not really focus down on what I could have potentially found on the shelf. But I think through our bickering, Marvin is able to like Marvin notices something and is like, wait.
Now, with opposing theories, you gain the condition plagued by indecision, which cannot be removed.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Alrighty. So, all right, go ahead.
I
bump
think
up your
this is the
roll.
moment.
Yeah.
I think this is the moment where Marvin and I sort of start to become not necessarily fully in opposition, but just Marvin is like, I have access to more information than you do about this, and you need to listen to me. And I'm like, no, just give me the information I need. So maybe like, yes, to the outside world, it looks like I'm plagued by indecision because I'm talking to myself and I keep talking through like opposing sides to a question. In reality, it's just Marvin and I arguing about stuff all the time, like bickering like, you know, bickering all the time about who is right about things. So that would bump it up to the next level, which would, I guess, be a 7.
Okay. All right. So on a 7, you get a clue, which would be Annabelle. Yeah, Annabelle, go ahead and pick out one of the clues that is on the list for the 8 of clubs.
Yeah. So basically, when you look at the books and open one, there's a sketch falling out of a creature with long, skinny arms and an elongated skull. I'm going to post it in the Discord as well.
Ooh.
Yikes.
So basically you get the information that the previous owners they put it there, and Lumen probably didn't notice. He didn't check those books. So this is something that has been known for a while or been there for a while.
Ooh, nice. I like that.
I think yeah, I think just for funsies, and so they're gonna roll with intuition. I think Ronnie's gonna take a look through the telescope, like again, just because it seems to be very underappreciated as an item in this beautiful office. And we'll take a look. Let's see how well or how badly I roll right now. Jeez. Ooh, even better. Okay, so that's an 8. Ooh.
Do you need another clue card?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull another clue card if you don't mind. The
That is the 4 of clubs.
Okay, let me see. So can you just describe again what you were trying to achieve or trying to do?
Yeah, I think after having met the great man, I think, Ronnie's looking at this office and getting kind of thinking about their dad and their demands and such, and just kind of shaking it off, and then admiring the office, admiring the beautiful things in this office, and then deciding to go to look through the personal telescope that could be pointed outward, could be even pointed like somewhere in the office just for funsies. Excuse me. If that helps figure out like which clue would be appropriate for this. But yeah, they're looking through the telescope right now.
So let's see. I think you hear a voice saying, "You like what you see?" And the clue is an employee that doesn't officially work for SpaceAI or the observatory. And I'm just going to make someone up, or should I pick an NPC from the list?
Whichever you choose is great.
So basically, there's someone who pretends to work there, but you and they introduce themselves as Joe. And I'm wondering, Ronnie, how can you tell they're not actually working? Whether neither for SpaceAI, nor for the observatory.
Well, I think there's no distinct like no lab coat, no like space AI polo, no nothing showing that they're working for the observatory. So it's just somebody that's come up and looks like they're like some Joe right off some Joe right off of the street, I mean, like, wearing regular clothes. So
And I picture, you might not notice this because when you look away, when you look towards Waylend, something under his sweater twitches. But when you turn back, he just appears to be a normal guy.
oh goody. Ty? Yeah, we're part of Paranormal Incorporated. We're here to investigate the hauntings or strange occurrences around here.
Oh, I thought those are over.
Do you work here? I mean,
Yeah, sure, sure. I'm head of and he looks around books and Sharpies.
and Sharpies.
Yeah, office stuff, supplies.
Are you, and kind of like Ronnie gives them the once over. Hmm. So you're the office supply delivery guy?
Yes, but the executive. Yes. I'm that one. Yeah. And obviously you can tell he's just making this up.
Oh, of course, of course. But I mean, huh.
Do you want to buy a pencil? This is how you do it, right?
Uh, No, I usually get mine in a pack. Since we're a business, it's like we get the bulk rate. Is that what you're here to do? To give Mr. Lumen the bulk rate?
Is that a euphemism?
Ronnie just laughs. It's like, I didn't think so, but I'm appreciative of the fact that, you're trying to turn it into one, I guess. No, honestly, I mean, like, are you, do you work for this place, or like, do we need to kind of like escort you out?
No, no, no. You definitely don't have to do that. I'm just here to check on the Sharpies and the pencils, as I said. So please proceed. And he moves towards the Lumen's desk and starts going through stuff.
And yeah, I mean, like, I think Ronnie will hmm, I'm gonna say, like, Ronnie is going to, and if you guys want to like take a vote on what you think I'm doing, that'll be great. I mean, like, I'm either gonna do discovery with, what is it? Hold on, I always forget like which one's which. Whichever makes me move faster. Wits. Stay calm in the face of danger, think on your feet, interact with other beings. Okay, yes. So I'm either doing wits for discovery or for risky. What do you think? Because I want to get to the desk first before this person.
Oh.
And discover stuff.
I think it right now the priority is getting to the desk and
Yeah.
then discovering.
Yeah.
So I would do a risky roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm definitely doing it with wits, because it's like, yeah, I'm like, Ronnie's not gonna let this person, like, what? I don't know who the hell you are. Yeah. So risky with wits. What is that? Good. It's my best stat. Why can't I keep rolling on this? Huh. Yes. 11. Thank you very much. Jesus. All right. So with an risky move. With an 11, do what you intended or hold steady, describe what it looks like. Yeah. So again, Ronnie pretty much, like, does the nimble dance in front of Joe, and manages to, I think that, like, he has sufficient amounts of pencils and staples and all that other stuff that he really needs in this office. But as you can see, he's not really using it anyway. So I mean, like, hey, maybe you want to go ahead and find Stacy. I hear Stacy knows everything that happens around here.
Okay. Maybe I will talk to this Stacy person.
Yeah, and then we'll probably come along and find Stacy as well.
Oh, no, no, you don't have to do that. I'll talk to her alone on my
Okay.
own.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
And maybe there's like he leaves the office and the office door is still open and you hear like a sinister laugh. Did you hear that? Didn't want to laugh while you can still hear me.
that is totally out of character. that character break. Thank you. Oh my god. I think, yeah, Ronnie will now like do the discovery move on the desk real quick before we
Yeah.
head to the machine shop. Oh
And
my
it-
god.
And I think it's only at this point that Waylend has even noticed there was somebody else in the room,
Oh my god, that's
and is like,
funny.
Ronnie, who was that?
Somebody named Joe, as Ronnie's, like, starting to look through the office, the desk, excuse me.
Oh.
And yeah, this is where
Huh.
Ronnie's gonna roll. 9,
Well,
10,
what about
11,
Joe?
12. Yeah, so 12 on the discovery move. And yeah, Joe is weird. Joe said he's in charge of books and Sharpies. I didn't believe him.
I mean, that does seem like an odd thing to be in charge of.
Yeah. Plus, he didn't actually go towards the books where you are. He went towards the desk. So,
I mean, nobody has been near those books
yeah.
except for like this one, and he'll hold up like the Space for Dummies.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
On a 12 plus
Mhm.
on the discovery move, you get 2 clues. So
Ooh.
I am going to pull you 2 cards.
Okay.
Ace of clubs and 10.
Okay. So, uh, Annabelle.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Again, digging through a desk.
Yeah. Let's start with the ace.
And it doesn't have to be even in the desk. It could be like under the desk or like the desk. Although if you tell me if it's a mimic, I'm going to be screaming my head off. But anyway.
No, well, you find a crumpled note written in code. And maybe there's like a connection to the code Annabelle has discovered.
Okay.
And
then
the other one was an 8? No, a 10.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, this sounds interesting. You look around at the desk and there's an unusual amount of pencils and pens and whatever. And when you, after finding that note, you also see a single fire ant walking purposely towards a dark doorway.
Single fire ant.
Yeah. I put it in the Discord chat so you can copy it.
Yeah.
From the PDF.
Oh. Holy shit. Oh, okay. It's a picture, or this is like an actual fire ant? Or we're just gonna conceptualize it when we get there. Just contextualize it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Fabulous.
At this moment, I would like to thank my partner, Devin Arbruce, for adding in the Space Ghost Coast to Coast jokes into this mystery, because I haven't seen enough of that to have done stuff like this.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So I think, seeing this, I think Ronnie's going to look up at Waylend and say, there's some weird shit going on around here. So let's cut over to the machine shop. That is the 5 of hearts. So yeah, Waylend, if you could just do the intro for the machine shop, then we'll get Annabelle and Dr. Fern started.
Will do. So there we go. The machine shop. A long wooden work table covered in small pieces of machinery and replacement motor parts for the telescope mounts. Shelving of bins full of cables and wires line a wall. A smaller table hosts a selection of lenses and mirrors of various sizes, carefully wrapped in white sheets. Assorted telescopes and other viewing apparatus parts are scattered about the room in different states of repair. Paint the scene. A large uncovered mirror rests against a counter in the center of the room. Your image is warped and changed as you look at it. Describe what you see. Is it comforting or menacing to look at?
I think that's appropriate for just you two, since you're there.
So
when Dr. Fern looks into the mirror, it warps her reflection in a way that it makes her look like she's got this giant head. And at first she thinks, oh, it's because of my giant brain. But then she thinks back to, the adventure that everybody had at the petting zoo, and the children carrying around the little helium balloons. So now she imagines herself as full of helium, a giant balloon. And as she imagines that, the reflection actually starts to float up and float away. When she blinks, it's back to normal. Still warped, but not floated away.
Cool. Hmm. I imagine when Annabelle looks at the mirror, she glances Dr. Fern standing behind her. And there have been instances, well, she's not aware of, but Dr. Fern has conducted some experiments on her. And so at the very first moment, she thinks, oh, it's just a normal reflection of my colleague and myself. But then there's like almost, it appears that Dr. Fern is hunching behind her and getting taller and taller, and Annabelle is going to shrink almost. But then she rubs her eyes and it's back to normal. That's weird. Dr. Fern, is there anything I should know about our relationship?
Are you confessing feelings for me? Because I really like you, Annabelle, but I'm not really in that kind of place.
Hmm. And that really shuts her down. Okay, maybe we should take it slow then. And focus on our professional relationship. Is there anything you notice around here?
Well, there's a lot of, well, stuff. I'm going to go take a little peek at this table. See if there's anything, cool, unusual that I could use or get ideas for some of my projects even. Or it might just be haunted stuff. I don't know. Yeah, Dr. Fern's going to go and take a look at the stuff on the table. I know that there's the long table, not the shorter table with the mirrors, and just sort of start poking around at things, trying to turn stuff on. And that'll probably give us a discovery move. In this case, it'd be with science because I'm turning stuff on and seeing how things work and how things fit together. Oh my gosh. And that is a 6. So I would like instead to do a personal haunting.
Wait, even with your science.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Sure. Yes. Personal haunting, please. give us a clue. Okay.
Looking around at this table of stuff, it reminds me of my own table of stuff back in my room, where I have various different parts and motors and whatnot. Kind of like this, actually. There's a little flashback that Dr. Fern has as she's staring down at this table, where she's standing in front of her own table. She has built a contraption. It has the base of it, like the standard base of it, is one of those drinking water birds that kind of just like flips up and down and flips up and down. That is the motor that makes this contraption run. As it's going up and down and up and down, the water, as it changes height in the little container that it's in, it hits some sort of sensor. And when that sensor gets hit, it turns on a fan. And when that fan turns, it blows some air at a different sensor that lights up in blue. When the blue light comes on, it triggers a third sensor or fourth sensor. I don't know how many sensors we're at now. And the sensor there activates a screen. The screen is a video of Dr. Fern as she hits the tail of the bird to get it to move. When the screen comes on, it reflects on a mirror behind the bird. And when the light reflects on the mirror behind the bird, there is a magnifying glass that focuses light into a pinpoint of energy, which sets off another sensor, which lowers a fake hand with a blue glove on it to hit the bird and get it to go again. But that's all it does. So, I mean, yeah, okay, perpetual motion, that's fun, but it doesn't really do anything else. There's nothing explosive in it. Can't really take it around to bust ghosts. So we see as Dr. Fern starts to take apart this machine, the last thing she does is wrench the little bird's head off and toss it in the trash.
I think as this image of your personal haunting is coming back to you, and then you're coming out of it and you throw the bird's head into the trash, I think a marble drops in front of you from nowhere. And inside of it, it looks like some kind of spinning, glowing star system with a small blue planet third from the central star. Do you pick it up?
Yeah. We'll look around and see where it came from.
As soon as you pick it up and then you take that quick look, it disintegrates in your hands into nothing.
Oh.
Ooh.
Paranormal event, by the way.
But you also get a clue, right?
I do get a clue, yes. 9 of clubs.
Okay, let's see what. Okay. I think you discover a golden record engraved with a name, and feel free to detail which name that might be if you're interested in that. And basically, I picture something like those golden records you might send to space to get whoever or whatever is there an impression of what humans like to listen to or sound like.
And while this is going on with Dr. Fern, Annabelle, where did you go into this room? What did you hone in on?
So basically, Annabelle ignores all the tech stuff, and that's rather difficult because there's so many cables and monitors and old junk. But she's interested in the events because Ronnie has mentioned something escaping somewhere. So what she tries to do is to climb up on a shelf and get near a vent and have a peek, or maybe crawl into it even.
I almost want to say it's intuition because you're trying to suss out a situation. Or it could be vigor because you're trying to physically, make your way into a vent. I'll go with whatever you guys think is appropriate.
I think vigor is more interesting because it's my worst stat.
Oh gosh, sure, go ahead. Discover with vigor.
Okay, still an 8.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and read off a clue.
Yeah.
Do you want to draw another card, Amanda? Clubs.
Sure do. 5 of clubs.
Great. Okay. So oh God. These are all so good.
Mhm.
I think you find in the vent as you're making your way, maybe you've put your wonderful platformed boots onto one of the tables to get up into the vent, and then you have something to your the tiny screwdriver that you use to adjust your goggle glasses occasionally works really well for those tiny screws for the vents. And so you make your way into them, or at least be able to peek in, and you see goops of this strange green substance in the vents. And it's like it's creating this trail that you can see. Maybe you're not quite in the vents, but I mean, you can see it's dribs and drabs of it. And do you touch it?
Sure.
Yeah. I think, yeah, you're going to find that it's. Wait, do you have gloves on or no?
No.
God dang it, girl.
I feel like that might be a paranormal event
Can
if
you
you touch
please pull a
it.
paranormal
I mean, I
event,
just
please?
use my pinky, so it well shouldn't be a problem.
2 of diamonds.
Thank you. Oh, oh, this is fun. I think, even by using your pinky, you start to see it glow a little bit, but then you start to dematerialize. And then you go into, let's see, just for funsies, can you draw another location card,
That would
Amanda?
be a 3.
A 3. I think you find yourself, excuse me, in the laser dome momentarily. Like it's like half of you getting a vision and then half of you dematerializing from the vents in this room in the machine shop into the laser dome with the red reclining chairs and the red LED safety lights, and then back to the machine shop in front of the vents. And you're like, what the fudge?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that could be the next location for one of us, or few of us, whatever. All right, so that is your paranormal event. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so just to take stock, unless you guys want to do something else in this room in the machine shop, we have 7 clues, so we can conceivably try to break and then do a theorize after the short break, or we could try to continue to investigate and then theorize. What would you like to do? 7 clues. Make it make sense.
I think maybe getting another clue or
Okay.
2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe if we do go to that laser dome that Annabelle just saw,
Yeah, that sounds
maybe
good.
that was a sign that there's something there for us to find.
I mean, maybe the ant is on its way there as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're also on the way to the laser dome. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break in this case, and we'll meet back at the 30 mark. Okay. So
Cool.
see you in 5. All right. So I think we find ourselves all in some way, shape, or form coming back from the machine shop and from Lumen's office to the 3. I can't find it. Okay, here we go. To the SpaceAI presents the Laser Dome. Okay, so for this scene, I'll go ahead and take location since I'm already on it. So yes, Ronnie will do location, and then we will have Annabelle do. Wait, did I have her do paranormal events before? Give me a second. Annabelle, did you do paranormal events already or no? No, I don't think so.
I
Right.
didn't. No.
Okay.
Did NPCs and clues?
Okay, great. I'm just trying to make sure everybody gets a chance to do something
Cool.
different. And then Waylend, if you can do NPCs, and Amanda, if you'll do clues for this particular.
I'm on it.
Okay. All right, fabulous. So let's go ahead and get the cards for diamonds, spades, and clues, because we already have the space dome as the laser dome as the location for right now.
10 of diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
4 of spades,
Mm-hmm.
7 of clubs.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So SpaceAI presents the laser dome. Reclining chairs encircle a raised platform with red LED safety lights running down the aisles, directing towards the exits. An old wooden podium, incongruous with the modern look of the rest of the theater, stands in the center, surrounded by outward-facing speakers. To the side is an electronic piano that curves into a circle, lightly peppered with laser blasts. The domed roof is nothing special, but it comes alive with color and light during a show. Paint the scene. As the lights come on in the room, what strange afterimage do you see in the dome? So yeah, as I think we're all approaching from different entrances, perhaps, like as each pair is coming from a different entrance of the dome, I think, yeah, the lights are automatic. And so they just kind of like, like, choom, 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 like, they kind of like do the projections and then like, shine brightly. And they're dazzling. So I think what Ronnie ends up seeing is like a vision of the nebula in the other room from the poster, but then gets that after effect of darkness with not only the face of, oh, what the hell was his name? The annoying guy. What the hell? Gary? Was it Gary?
Oh, a Broha guy.
The Broha guy. What was his?
Oh no.
Yes, I can't.
Forgot.
Anyway, his his
Mm.
face kind of like looking shocked, and then like it turning into the face of that thing that had crawled from Ronnie's stomach and then skittered into the vent, and that's what Ronnie sees.
Dr. Fern sees an after image that looks suspiciously like a scientist doing an experiment on their sleeping colleague. But that can't be what it is, clearly. It's just after image. Whew.
I think Waylend sees Waylend's breath catches for a moment because what Waylend sees, he thinks he's about to experience that same event that he experienced all those years ago when he was a kid, and that he just sort of re-experienced outside because it's that same pattern of light, and just catches and then realizes, oh, it's just like lights coming on. Or was it?
Cool. So basically, the after image Annabelle sees is the silhouette of the Eiffel Tower. And she mumbles to herself, one day, one day.
Yeah, I think Dr. Fern is just sort of entranced with this wonderfully starry dome, and she wants to go and figure out how to turn on the laser show like proper. So I'm heading for the controls.
Thinking. Yeah, I think Ronnie's gonna go over to the electric piano. Because it's such a strange shape. I mean, like, was this made for this thing? I mean, like, and I'm imagining that even though the theater looks pretty new and modern, I think Yeah, I mean, like even this looks a little bit out of place for it, I think. It's just like something out of an old Buck Rogers episode that they remember seeing, like, when they were kids. Sponge, on like one of those obscure channels that has like those old shows on it. So,
Ooh,
yeah. So Ronnie's gonna check out the piano.
would this be a good time to introduce the NPC?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's such a perfect NPC. I can't believe this drew this way. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the Four of Spades is LJ Starry Stan, a child's entertainer. Receding hairline, talks excitedly, always seems to be in performance mode. Laser jockey Starry Stan, real name Stanislav Starovich, was hired by SpaceAI to be the new laser show guide. Starry Stan does hip hop dancing and rapping to synth mixes of classical music and Logan Lumen's band Lumen and the Luminians. So I think as the lights come on and you start moving towards the keyboard, it takes you a moment. It takes you a moment to realize that there was actually somebody sitting at the keyboard, which means that they were just sitting here in the dark, waiting for someone to come in. But as soon as they do, they're just like, you almost mistaken them for like an animatronic person until they like just start playing on the keyboard and playing music, and they're just like super excited, big smile. You recognize them from like a really old children's like PBS space show, right? That taught them about along the lines of like a Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, except nothing that high end. That taught kids about like space and science and stuff like that. But yeah, just why, hello there. Are you getting enough oxygen? Time to learn about satellites. And they start playing some music and they're like, we've got a lovely bunch of satellites.
Starry Stan?
See them all orbiting in a row. And yeah.
I mean, yeah, like,
oh, yes, you know me. Oh,
yeah, I remember seeing you like in that science show when I was a kid. What are you doing here?
well, I work for SpaceAI now. I am their head of children relations.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
and head Luminian.
Oh, you're working directly for Mr. Lumen now, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I do I dare ask if you're okay with that? Or is he throwing
Of course I'm okay with that. I
and
love my job.
you were sitting here in the dark?
Yes, well, it would be very inefficient to have all the lights on just for me.
But you didn't have to sit here in the dark by yourself. I mean, is there a show that's being scheduled soon, or?
No, I'm here just in case. This is my job.
I really hope that you're getting paid enough for this.
I'm afraid I'm not allowed to discuss my salary.
Interesting. No transparency here, huh? I think
The only transparency is in our telescopes, and plays like a joking riff on the piano or on the keyboard.
I'm like half tempted to like just like, I don't know, do we have presence here? What the hell is this? Interact with other beings, wits. Yeah, I mean, I think she's good. I think they're going to interact with Starry Stan as much as possible. So I'm gonna roll and see what I get before we ask Annabelle what she's doing. Okay, so 8 plus 2 is 10. 10, yay. 10. You can either give me the clue now, or we can switch over to Annabelle and see what Annabelle's doing.
Let's see. They're all very physical. I think as Starry Stan is playing this little ditty on the electric keyboard, out of the sheet music that is sort of precariously purchased on the stand, falls a photo of the dark side of the moon with eerie shadows on it.
Yay. Oh, God. God. Oh, this could be fun. Okay, great. Annabelle, Waylend, what are you guys doing around this weird place? Holy shit.
Actually, I think Waylend Waylend gets sidetracked because probably not unexpectedly, Waylend is like Starry Stan is just like was his idol growing up. He's watched every episode. He has like Starry Stan merch still, like he's got, and so just which I guess implies that like he's always just carrying it around in his he has like his Starry Stan lunchbox with the thermos attachment, and he's Starry Stan, I'm just such a huge fan. Would you, I mean, would you sign this for me? And could I get a picture with you? And he's like, well, I'm always happy to take a picture with a fan. Signatures do require a $35 surcharge just to have to keep the science flowing. And Waylend just Venmos the money to Starry. Yeah, easily done. That's and gets like an autograph and a photo with Starry Stan. So that's all the Waylend's doing in this, not totally distracted from like the job at hand.
Annabelle.
So obviously, she has been to this room before because of the goo. And I don't know, is Dr. Fern standing nearby?
Yeah, I'm going for the controls. I want to turn the laser show on, like for
Okay.
real.
So I then rather picture herself being like lost in her thoughts, mumbling to herself, oh, I can sense a presence. Being really dramatic about it, but no one of you actually pays attention. And I'll use my move for that. So at any point, you may announce that you sense a presence and draw a paranormal card.
Ace of diamonds.
Okay, let's have a look. And then, what does it do? I choose one of the events to encounter, and then I roll plus intuition. Let's see what happens. Okay. I think I'll pick the first one. So when she wanders off and tries basically says that out loud. The floor beneath my feet drop, and I fall into a vast empty nothingness. For a moment at least, but at this very moment it feels like eternity almost. Now I'm going to roll. And that's a 10.
On a 10, you discover a clue. Okay.
Awesome. You discover a clue that's in the 2 of clubs clue list, which I get to choose because I'm the clue queen right now. I think what happens with your feeling that you're sensing a presence, I think you kind of close your eyes and put your hands out and let it just sort of, this presence just sort of lead you around the room. You trip over one of the LED safety lights because they're not very good. They're raised off the ground rather than in the ground. And when you stumble, you put your hand down on one of the reclining chairs. On the seat of that reclining chair, you actually see a page torn out from Tech Guru magazine that features Logan Lumen, but his eyes are crossed out.
Cool. Okay, should we go to Dr. Fern now?
Yeah. So, Dr. Foyne.
Yeah, I'm playing with the buttons. I want to turn on the laser dome lights for real and see what kind of display might happen. Because if there's a ghost here, they might give us a message in lasers. Also, it's lasers. That's cool.
Roll with science, please.
Yeah. And that is a 9.
Okay, good. All right.
So our clue will be from the 3 of clubs section. If somebody else would like to choose it, I would appreciate that.
Okay, 3 of clubs.
We also just used up all of our cards. So if you want to pick a clue from one of the other clue things, I'm not going to say no to that either.
You pulled 7, so we haven't used that either. But let me check. Okay, so what 7 is? Oh no, we just used 7. Sorry. Okay. 3. Turning on all the buttons and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I am going to use something that is from another one. As you're turning on these buttons, I think you're seeing like more illumination on the console and all this kind of stuff. And as more light is coming onto this humongous console, like the sliders, the buttons, the dials, I think you're seeing illuminated in like a corner, like wedged into like amongst a grouping of buttons. Written in red Sharpie is a list of what looks like celestial coordinates. So no plain old GPS here. I mean, like we're talking like, full on code, celestial coordinates. And they're written in red Sharpie. Okay.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 clues on the deck.
I think I do because I think the complication that I'm going to have from turning on all these buttons and stuff is going to be a paranormal event.
Sure.
So that is a 4 if somebody would like to find.
Yeah, let's see. Annabelle, so you've got the paranormal events.
Okay, let's see.
These are crazy, Amanda. Holy shit.
I'm a normal person with a normal brain.
with a heart as black as the void.
That too.
What we got?
I think I'll go for the first one. So a display astronaut suit moves on its own, lunging towards you before falling empty to the ground.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a couple of display things like that sort of behind the desk where the controls are, just as mostly to hide the wires that are haphazardly plugged into the wall, because they don't want to get in trouble. It's not good wire management. So they have these display things like an astronaut suit, and it does just do that. Is when the lasers and the sound and the movement comes on, this thing starts. It's almost like it's in a strobe light. It starts to move, lunging, one hand, gloved hand, reaching out towards Dr. Fern, and then it just falls apart on the ground. Dr. Fern doesn't actually notice, distracted by the lights, but the sound of it crashing to the ground, I turn around and look down and give it a kick. Weird.
Definitely weird. So again, 10 clues on deck. Do we need a few minutes, or we just want to go ahead and break out into theorize?
I just want to reread what our goal is. I should remember it because I wrote it, but it was a while ago.
Oh.
Find out why the observatory is experiencing this haunting and whether the ghosts are of this planet. If otherworldly, SpaceAI would like the entities trapped for study. Otherwise, they need you to convince the ghosts to move on. Maybe like a 5-minute break to quickly look over, think about stuff.
Absolutely. All right. So we will come back at the 2 mark.
Couple of minutes after. Yeah.
Couple minutes after. Yep. All right. See you in 5.
Cool.
Okay. So we're going to go read over the clues again for the video and see if we can come up with a working theory to be able to cover at least the minimum complexity of 7. And if we can actually get some pluses on this, that would be fabulous. So clues are: lights blink out in code, a sketch of a creature with long skinny arms and an elongated skull, an employee that doesn't officially work for SpaceAI or the observatory. We named him Joe. Crumpled note written in code, a single fire ant walking purposely toward a dark doorway, a golden record engraved with a name, a strange green substance in an unusual place, the vents, a photo of the dark side of the moon with eerie shadows, a clipping from Tech Guru magazine featuring Logan Lumen with his eyes crossed out, and a list of celestial coordinates written in red Sharpie. Okay, so now we just got to figure out how to make this stuff work.
I have a pitch.
Pitch.
Let's say there are extraterrestrial beings, and if they were to come visit, they could be doing things that would appear like a ghost is doing it, things moving on their own or whatnot. But what if they were actually just really small? What if they were the size of fire ants? A whole bunch of them wouldn't, maybe not that visible if it's dark in the room, could cause things to move if they're particularly intelligent. If they're from wherever those celestial coordinates were written in red Sharpie, that could be them trying to communicate. The codes that were the lights were blinking, that was in a computer. The ants could have crawled into a computer to manipulate it from the inside because these are genius ants. They're space ants. So yeah, my pitch is that it's not a ghost. It's not even a space ghost. It's aliens that are really, really smart, but also they are ants and small.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, if you really zoom in, then those ants would look like that thing on the sketch.
Yeah, if you really, really zoomed in. I like that.
I can see that, yeah, because they have broken up torso with like the elongated skull for the head. Yeah, okay, gotcha. We can say, oh, okay. So now I'm pulling some Gravity Falls shit, and I don't know how we want to work this.
Yeah.
But like the employee that doesn't officially work for SpaceAI or the observatory, Joe, like they're so smart. They're super smart. They have built this either like human suit, you know, and
Mm.
all of
An
these
egger
ants
suit.
are living in it and then like
Yeah.
making him move and talk and all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff. So the twitching that we saw was like, you know, maybe them shifting position because it's like, you know, maybe Joe 1250 wanted to talk and be Joe for that day,
Yeah.
you know, to talk to Ronnie, you know.
Mhm.
So
And
that's
that's where
my
all the Sharpie stuff came in, is because Joe, I mean, yes, he's a very, very good egger suit. He's a very good human suit. But writing with Sharpie is just easier than writing with a ballpoint pen and making sure you
True.
get the angle right or anything.
True, very true. And then the strange green substance could be something that they secrete when they're out of the human suit.
Mm.
Yeah. And it helps them move through. That's why Annabelle moved into the other room, because it helps them move around
Yeah.
in their
Mm.
large groups. But
Perfect.
because Annabelle's so big and not ant size, it didn't
Yeah.
work.
Right. Or
Somehow.
it worked a little bit for
Yeah.
a human suit, for a human sized person and density that, you know, with like shift,
Yeah.
but then you had to come right back because you're too big.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do we want to
The
say
golden record
okay.
is the record sent out on Voyager 1 or 2. And that's how the ants knew where to come.
Oh,
They were
wow.
like, this music is kicking. We like it. Let's come visit these people.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and when they came to visit and they came down to the Somerville Observatory, that's when Logan Lumen bought the place and they think he sucks. So they crossed out his eyes and they're sabotaging all of his shit because they don't
Yeah.
like him.
Well, at least they have discerning taste and true
Yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah, they're cool.
So
Or they
what's
got here just before, so
oh,
they got to like and be friends with the
Yeah.
people who had the place first, and then Logan Lumen showed up, and they're like, "What the is
What-
this?"
and that's
Yeah.
why they
This
wanted
guy
to
sucks.
investigate him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's with the photo of the dark side of the moon? Is that where they're from
Oh.
or
I think they took that photo on their way to Earth. They were going to send it back to their ant planet as like it's a tourist photo.
nice?
You know,
Ah,
like if I were to go to, I don't know, visit somebody and I take a picture of like a cool tree,
Yeah.
wish you
this
were
was
here.
Right. This was here.
Adding to that, I think because they got attracted here by our music, obviously, they have listened to Pink Floyd, "Dark Side of the Moon," and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, there must have been some amazing stuff on the Dark Side of the Moon for like Pink Floyd to write this song about it." And so they went and looked and are like, "Oh, I mean, it's okay."
Then they were like, maybe if we play
took some pictures.
Pink Floyd backwards, we'll find out what was actually supposed to be on the dark side of the moon. And they're like,
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So they just took some pictures and left.
Nice. Okay. So we've covered all 10 clues. So that's a +3. Who's feeling lucky?
Sure.
Okay.
do it, Brent.
Do it, Brent.
Straight dice roll +3. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Actually, that is 6 + 3 is 9.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
So it is the correct solution, but there is an unwelcome complication to the solution or a dangerous situation to overcome before solving. As a group, decide what sacrifices you make to succeed in your goal. I think it's kind of obvious a little bit. We've decided that these are creatures from outer space that are highly intelligent. So SpaceAI would want them captured.
Yeah. But we don't want that to happen. So
No.
Yeah.
I think at this moment, the complication is both Joe and Logan Lumen walk into the room.
fudge puppet. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Mm, 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 mm. So
I think we all like exchange a look because we know we work together, and you know how when
Mhm.
you know
Yeah.
how when you and your friends meet somebody who sucks, but you don't want to talk about how that person sucks in
Right.
front of them, so you
You
all just
look
give
to
each
each
other
other.
that look.
Yeah, like the look
Yeah.
goes from one person to the next to the next to the next, and then it's like they all kind of look at the person that we're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I
And
think
that's how the camera pans.
that we kind of all give each other this look. This is the shot, the TV shot,
Mhm.
and I think like nod like a
Mhm.
because I think we all are in agreement that Logan Lumen should not get these.
Yeah.
He would treat them so bad.
Mm.
These ants are people. They're not,
Right.
And
minions.
I picture Joe being very nervous because he then whatever they think they be turned in now, but when we say to Lumen maybe, oh, we found the ghosts and we dealt with them, then that could be a way to handle him.
I am going to pull out one of my experiments from my backpack. This is, let's see, I haven't actually thought about it. It's experimental technology. A piece of untested technology in my backpack. Name it, describe what it does, and add it to your backpack. So this is the new item that I have been working on, and inspired by space stories, I call it the anti-gravity gun, where if you shoot something with it, it will defy the laws of physics for a little while. I'm not sure how long, and I'm not sure in what way, but I do have this gun, and I think I'm going to pull it out of my backpack. And I think I'm going to kind of like make it kind of look like I'm going for Joe, but then I'm going to spin and shoot Logan.
Okay.
I'm going to roll
Uh,
with science.
With science.
Oh, for
Mhm.
butt's sake.
No, what'd you get?
Snake eyes.
Son of a poop.
So I think what happens is I fire this gun and it explodes in a flash of light. And that flash of light looks strangely like that array of light that Waylend had seen before.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I start to float. And I can't really get down. It's like that scene in Willy Wonka. So I'm just kind of floating around. And there's bits of pieces of this gun kind of flowing around as well. How does everybody react? How do Joe and Lumen react? One of these days, one of my equipment will work. One of these days, I will roll that successfully.
You did that for the gooizer. It was brilliant for
Yeah,
the
the
first
gooizer
mystery.
worked.
But then you were cursed ever since.
I think Lumen is really excited. And since you mentioned parts of your invention are swirling around, he grabs them and wants to steal the technology.
Of course he
course.
does. Of course he
Yeah.
fucking does.
That guy sucks.
He so sucks. Okay. And then, oh God.
Yeah, I think Waylend reacts like, is really like just like, excited and quietly like supportive of Dr. Fern, like, oh, maybe this time. And then when it doesn't work, it's like, oh, okay. No, that was not unexpected. And reaches into his bag and pulls out like just a length of cord, and like, throws it up to you.
I'm a
And like
balloon,
sort of
just like the mirror said.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Loops it
no.
around you and just sort of tethers you to Waylens so that you don't accidentally float away and hurt
Oh my
yourself.
gosh. Holy crap.
Um,
Well, this is luckily a big dome, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I
Um,
almost think that Starry Stan is also like still there, and he's just like playing away because he's like, oh, this is part of the science and stuff.
yeah.
So basically, Annabelle whispers to Ronnie, "Oh, this is even sadder than Laser Stan,"
Yeah.
and he hears that.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, poor Starry Stan.
Oh.
We still love you, Starry Stan.
We still love you, Starry
yeah.
Stan. Oh my gosh.
I think I'm going to pull a paranormal event for how Joe reacts
Okay.
because
Oh, that's
we
good.
determined that,
Sure.
Yeah.
Please do.
9 of diamonds. Let's see. I think the way that Joe reacts is by basically falling apart.
Mm.
All the little guys inside of him
Mhm.
scatter.
Mm.
And his suit just kind of down
Right.
to the ground. A little bit later, we all start to feel, even Fern up in the air, we all start to feel this weird shifting and moving and pressure in our lungs. And you get the urge to cough. When you cough, it's blue and purple gas that comes out. But it's just us. Logan isn't coughing like this. He's still grabbing at the parts in the air. I think the ants are trying to help in the only way they know how. And that's by going into stuff and manipulating it.
Oh no. Are they manipulating us or are they manipulating like stuff around us? Oh no. Jesus.
I mean, if Dr. Fern mentions this, Waylend is definitely going to be like, I don't want to tell you your business, but you might get a lot more done if you inhabited, instead of inhabiting like a Joe suit. What if you inhabited a Lumen suit? Think
Sorry.
think of how much you could get done with like a Logan Lumen suit, billions of dollars, and a space company. That's just me though. I don't want to I don't want you to think that I'm trying to force you into anything or
I love this.
That is
I mean,
amazing.
I want this to happen. I don't want to roll for it. I just want it to happen.
Yeah.
I think, okay, here's my pitch.
Mm-hmm.
I think these creatures, these ant aliens, listen to Waylend
Mm-hmm.
and they can actually tell, like they can figure out that Waylend has a Marvin in him.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, yeah, I can see how manipulating an actual human body could actually, like from the inside, could actually be really effective. And we're genius ants, so we know how to basically lobotomize the body should we need to. So I think what we see is we start to cough and these ants start to, the coughing, I guess, maybe is protecting us. I don't know what's happening with that. But what the ants start to swarm up Logan's legs in such amounts that we can actually see them very easily now. And they start flowing into, all of his orifices and holes. And you see him like reaching and grabbing and then starting to like pull at his own skin and his own clothes and his own hair. And then slow down, hands down, cricks his neck and says very calmly, well, this does feel different. Yes, Mr. Waylend, this is a good idea. We could do a lot with this.
Thanks.
And then Ronnie will lean in and say, you may want to consider looking at your books, Mr. Lumen, and possibly giving your long-suffering employees double the salary. I think you can afford it.
I think he smiles and says, yes, on our planet, we are very pro-union and very pro-equitable treatment of employees. There's going to be a lot of raises in the future and vacation days.
And reinstate the astronomers that were running the observatory.
Oh, that goes without saying.
Excellent.
And double Stacy's salary again.
Oh, yes.
And maybe figure out a way to get me down from up here.
I think they take the technology that broke up now that it's in competent hands. I think that we see the hands go faster than we can actually follow and create some kind of little box that they toss up to you. And then when you catch the box, it actually starts to slowly bring you down.
Can I keep this?
I think it might be a little bit beyond your measure right now. How about...
Only one way to find out.
What they'll do is they'll touch like one side of it and it will do like a weird... they'll do a weird little Hellraiser shift. And then it'll look the same, but you don't know how it changed. And they say, now it's safe for you to try.
And I think the rest of this thing is just Fern standing in the corner playing with this puzzle box.
So
cool.
I think we can epilogue there. Jesus. Any last epilogue thoughts for this? I think that I think we find ourselves at late night Kate's. getting our ice cream, whatever flavor that is, particularly now. And then actually Logan Lumen's with us. Yeah. And
my flavor is Laser Show, which is just vanilla with like specks of color, but it's cool looking.
But does it taste like a laser show? That's the question.
It does have a bit of a coppery taste, yeah.
Yeah.
What's everybody else's flavor?
Mine is oh no. Well, it's in my brain. I have to get it out. Mine is just called Bear Scat, which is Rocky Road ice cream with blueberries.
Oh my god.
I think the attendant at the counter, when you ask for that, will kind of give you a strange look and then a smile and then a wink. And when you do get this, I mean, it is Rocky Road with the blueberries and such and so forth. I think as another wink, you'll be getting like the millisecond taste of and then it'll go revert back to Rocky Road and blueberries.
Right. Yeah. I'm good with that.
I think Annabelle's flavor is red wine. Because
what does it look like?
It.
Well, that's true. But what does it look like when it comes out?
Well,
I like the idea that it's just red wine.
No, I think they've managed to create this dish where it's ice cream. It is ice cream and it's served in the wine glass. And when you look at it, yes, it looks like red wine. It's like it's got the liquid sense of it. Like you smell it, you can tip it, you can sip it. But when it touches your lips, it is cold and frozen, and yet still tastes crisp and, well, however bitter you like red wine. And it will go down smooth down your throat and then revert back to the aftertaste of ice cream. And then Ronnie's flavor is they get Nebula. It comes out as this black, pure black plate. And inside this bowl, on top of the plate, which is also pure black, is this ice cream that looks like bursting stars in a cloud of blue and purple and gold. And when Ronnie gets it, it almost seems like the shimmer is coming off of this ice cream and then coming a little bit spiraling above the bowl. Ronnie takes a scoop and then takes a spoonful and tastes it. And behind their eyes, they shift into the nebula, floating out into space, looking out into far horizons beyond what anyone else has seen, and then comes back to the ice cream and sees the shimmer, but in a taste and texture, and continues to eat.
What does Logan have?
I think, yeah, basically what it comes out to be is I can't remember exactly what the artistic baked good is, but what it is it's cake inside meringue, inside of a frozen ball that looks like a moon with one half of it completely dark. And Logan gets like one of those, what are those called? Sparklers? Like,
Yeah.
put into it. And the attendants at the counter clap and will wink at Logan and say, "Congratulations on your acquirement." And then Logan will wink back and take out the sparkler, hands it to Dr. Fern, and will cut open the cake. And then as he's cutting open the cake, you hear Pink Floyd coming from somewhere inside the cake. But then, yeah, again, like through the layers, and it just looks like a Neapolitan of some sort inside, with one being like the meringue being like the strawberry, and then the cake being chocolate, and then of course the outside ice cream being like a strange moon color of vanilla. And we still can't tell where that music's coming from.
I love it.
Yep.
That's
Great.
perfect. Yep.
And that's our playthrough of Moon's Haunted. Yes.
Yay.
Woo!
Thanks again for helping me play test this. There's like few
Absolutely.
just small edits I want to make, so I appreciate the help with that. And
Absolutely.
this was such a crazy theory. This is just ended up so completely bonkers. I expected some level of bonkers, but this was out there. Get
No.
it out there.
Yes, absolutely. Beyond. So, stars and wishes for debrief if everybody's got a little bit of time. And yeah. So stars, of course, of what you appreciated about the game, gameplay, narrations, each other. And then wishes, like, what you might have wanted to see within the game, or like, if we were going to continue, what you'd like to see for next time. Like, it doesn't even have to be this particular adventure episode. It could be for the next mystery that we're going to do. Okay. Who wants to start?
I think for stars, yeah, I love the endings that we managed to come up with out of our and you know, I promise people we don't plan it.
Oh
Get it?
God, kill me.
Planet. Anyway, but yeah, I love especially with this group, we sort of knew we were going to work towards like an anti lumen ending, and I love the one that we came up with. That was absolutely wonderful. Wishes, I need to get, like, just in general, I always want to like get more stuff where Waylend interacts with our fellow investigators, but also talks more with NPCs. I think that was fun. Um, I didn't do that a lot this time because the I had already decided that Waylend was going to be like very anti-Lumen, anti-Logan Lumen. So when that was one of the NPCs, it was like, yeah, okay, we're not really going to have a conversation here. And then I ended up playing one of the other ones, and I didn't want to like that to devolve into me basically like just with two puppets talking to one another, right? Like I didn't want to just take over that moment. So yeah, I will work for Waylend to find more NPC moments in the future.
Yeah, stars for everybody for the wonderful character moments and really leaning into some of the more vague clues and prompts, coming up with Stacy, coming up with Joe. Neither of those characters are characters or NPCs in this mystery. So just throwing things out there like that, I think was really a lot of fun. And I mean, it's always like that when we play, but because I wrote this mystery, like I know really well what's in it and what's not. So yeah, it just really was really a lot of fun, really cool. Of course, the story and the way that the mystery got solved was wonderful. I didn't doubt for a second that this group would hate Logan Lumen. He's designed that way. I have strong feelings about certain billionaires that, you know, just got to lean into sometimes. So that's was a lot of fun to really rag on him the whole time. It was wonderful. I think next time I want to see more NPCs as well. We didn't get that many this time, and that happens, you know, sometimes in different mysteries. It's just how things work. The luck of the draw, so to speak. But yeah, I think next time more NPCs because there's so many delicious people to meet, and not that I'm going to eat them, but you know what I mean. Delicious descriptions and whatnot. I might eat them.
I think that, you know, in looking at the way I track the cards drawn and everything like that, I think it's funny because the NPC cards are the ones that are drawn the least. Like it's just exactly for however many scenes we've done. Yeah. So, I mean, it's never been where we do a proliferation of NPCs to see in a scene, you know, a group like ensemble, like at the end or anything like that, which is going to be interesting for possibly writing in the future because it's like kind of have like an ensemble thing that I'm thinking of. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, we could totally do, you know, more pulling of the NPCs. It doesn't have to be just one person, like, you know, doing the NPCs. It could be like one person is in the scene and then like interacting with several people, like several NPCs that perhaps come upon us
Yeah,
for
like
some whatever reason.
situations where
Yeah.
we pull a location. When we go into the location, there's people are already there.
Yeah,
We can pull who
exactly.
they are, that sort of thing, how they're interacting with each other.
Yeah. And I think
would be
I think
fun.
we've done that with more success in different mysteries, but again, it depends on how we split up because that always seems to be determining how many people we actually pull and the cards as well. I mean, like we pulled pretty much almost every clue card, I think, or we did, And then like everything else was kind of like a little bit after that. So locations just for the amount of scenes that we were in. And then for paranormal events, it was kind of around the same amount for the locations. So again, NPCs like just take the hit because we're like so enamored with what we're doing that we tend to forget. It's like, there's people about. We got to remember that they got to bring in more people. So yeah, it is what it is. So that's a wish for next time. I mean, like just to try to remember to utilize a lot of different things. And I find it interesting that again, rediscovering the actual rules. ghostly encounters move. It's like we didn't have a chance to really deal with that because we didn't have paranormal events that actually involved speaking ghosts. I think not really since the first mystery we did when we actually had a ghost that would talk and interact, that I think that actually applied. So maybe a change for next time. I mean, like try to finagle a paranormal event that causes a actual ghost to talk to. Yeah. And then back to stars. So stars, of course, were everybody's character. It's great. I mean, I love interacting with you guys always. It's just fun as hell. And then just to try to bring back some little quirks and bits that just happen in each of these games, each of these episodes, no matter who's playing in the like as an investigator. It's just so much fun. So I appreciate you guys for it, and I love the fact that we're back together again for a mystery that Amanda wrote. So it's wonderful. And yeah, I mean, I really loved like all of the different things that were able to happen. Like the locations were very fleshed out. I mean, not that this is a complaint, but almost a little too fleshed out. So when we did paint the scene, it just felt like paint the scene was more like the little flowers that you would pipe onto a cake that's already been well iced. You know what I mean? So I mean, like again, like not a complaint, but just like just noticing like, well, we're just gilding the goat here. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, we're just piling on, which we do, and it's fine. And so that's a star. And yeah, the descriptions for the clues and for the paranormal events. I mean, just all these delicious little things that we could include and then try to figure out how they fit into the scene or into the theorized was just wonderful. I mean, I love it. The creativity is absolutely hilarious and amazing. So yeah, I mean, like I'm horrible at specific moments, so I apologize. But I mean, like everybody did such a great job with what their characters were doing in the particular scene, even if you weren't doing something that involved an actual move. So that was the best part, like just being able to watch. This is a show. This is like the episode. This is what people are doing, playing Pong. It's like I don't want to investigate Dr. Fern. Nope, playing Pong. All right, got it. All right. Or Annabelle checking out astronaut snacks. Jesus Christmas. And I mean, you know what? I actually, okay, here's back to a wish. Sorry. Wish that we explored a little bit more about Wayland's past with this thing, with the extraterrestrials. I kind of wanted to try to figure out how to circle back to the array of lights. Like, was it these guys that maybe saw you in the past? Or was it like maybe extraterrestrial cousins of them that we could kind of harken back to Waylend? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, again, you know me, people that have played with me before, love callbacks, love things to tie in together from other things. And that would have been a very cool thing to see. So if anything, it's like, I would have wished for that to be able to see a little bit more peek into Waylend and try to tie in that past bit, that backstory to this episode more in a way. Yeah.
Okay. I've had an amazing time, and I think that mystery did a great job of invoking like a very different flavor from at least what I've seen so far. So all that sci-fi elements and some current events of billionaires taking over tech and other industries. And I really like that it was so open-ended because the way you wrote it, it says, okay, you have to figure out, is it space ghosts or real ghosts? And then you can decide what to do with them. And I really love that, because then it gave us the opportunity to discover what's actually going on. And the ending, that was amazing when you suggested, Amanda, that it's the ants will take over Lumen.
Oh, Brent, that was Brent's idea, but it was so
okay.
good. Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah, when that came up, that was such a great moment, because I was wondering, okay, how will this get resolved? And actually, this is kind of a wish I'd like, well, not a real one, but be pretty nice if some benevolent space ants would take over some billionaires here on Earth as well.
That would be wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had so many highlights. For example, Starry Stan being there and being sad, but having to smile through it. So that was so great how you played them. And I also liked the small glimpses of body horror when that thing broke through Ronnie's chest. And leaving, and that gave me a hook to investigate further with the events. So yeah, for wishes, I'd say it'd be nice to have like some downtime, like a scene or two in the office, and maybe if that's something we're interested in, I think Lumen as a reoccurring NPC could be interesting as well.
Love it. Oh my gosh, love it. Because God knows we have plenty of things and people and whatever running through this. I'm not gonna say a campaign. I think it's more episodic than that. Um
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we can totally have Lumen drop by, or help us with funding. We can always
Oh
use
yeah.
angel investors for Paranormal Incorporated. And absolutely, I mean, if they're willing to work with Ronnie, for sure. And then maybe then Ronnie can work with their cousin Regina, and Regina can like recruit more investigators, guest investigators to help run the other office that's like located elsewhere, possibly in London, but not sure yet. But yeah, right.
Another really quick wish before we leave. I miss Mike the Mike, so I want him to come back.
Oh no, Mike is a fixture in the office.
Yeah.
But do you want Mike to be actually on field missions? I
mean, you might need him every now and then.
Yeah, well, like
You
we
might
have
get
that
bored.
we have that karaoke moment or something like.
Yeah. Just put it out there, Mike the Mike.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, give
Yeah.
YouTube a chance to shut me down if like I start putting in links to SoundCloud where Ronnie's singing to something. Who knows? Yeah, so it's great. No, I mean, this is wonderful. And yes, I wish IRL that we could have benevolent space ants make the billionaires a little bit more benevolent. But yes, wishes are fishes, that kind of thing going on. But thank you guys so much. Holy shit, that was wonderful. Oh my gosh. But then we're gonna do it again like next week, right?
Yes.
So
that's the plan. Yeah.
that is the
Excited.
plan. I don't know what mystery we're doing next. I mean, like, out of the original mysteries, I think we only have Haunting of Havisham left, I think.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? And then like
but we have the new ones that Alicia just put up. So
okay, great. So we can go ahead and like, start to take a look at those and then incorporate maybe one of them before the holidays. And then yeah, close out our 2022 with a paranormal bang, which I'm sure
Love
Dr.
it.
Fern will provide us. I mean, absolutely. Yes.
Get out your goggles.
Get out your goggles. All right, wonderful. I mean, it's just great. Oh God, thank you guys so much. And you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and then I will see you next time. All righty. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.